We're back now with the Indianapolis Zoo's President and CEO, Dr. Rob Shumaker. Dr. Rob, thanks for showing us around. There's so much to see, but there's a lot of things that folks may not always be able to see that you guys are really proud of. What do you think makes the Indianapolis Zoo stand out compared to other zoos around the whole world?
It's a great question, Matt. I'm really proud of so many things that our zoo does, and our mission's really clear, that our job is to protect nature and inspire people to care for our world. And so when people come and visit the zoo like we did, they have these great experiences, they connect with our animals, maybe they get a chance to talk to the keepers or other staff members, and that's terrific. But there's, exactly as you say, there's a whole lot happening behind the scenes people rarely see or may not know about, and that's focused largely on the conservation efforts that we have that are all around the world. And it's not always clear when we say conservation efforts what that means to people. What it really means is that we are directly supporting conservationists all around the world who are working to save species in some of the remote and most difficult environments on Earth. And that's happening every single day, and it's a core part of what we do here at the zoo.
Incredible. So how does the Global Center for Species Survival intertwine with that?
We do a number of things to promote field conservation, which is maybe a better way to say it. And some of that's right here in Indiana, some of it's around the world. But to me, there's several things that I would mention. One, it's just the education efforts we have at the zoo, letting people know what they can do to do good things to promote wildlife conservation. A great example is recycling your cell phone, and amazingly, that helps chimpanzees in the wild. Another thing that we do is all of the money that we send to projects around the world that directly supports those projects and pays the salaries of the people that are doing great conservation work. Of course, the Indianapolis Prize is a huge conservation effort to promote conservationists and the work they're doing. And then you mentioned the last one, the Global Center for Species Survival. That is our newest department here at the zoo, and that is a team of conservation experts who spend every day supporting the people that are doing actual conservation work in the wild, connecting them with other conservationists, connecting them with resources, helping to get the word out about the important work that they are involved in. And that's a collaboration with IUCN, the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, the biggest conservation organization in the world, and we are really proud collaborators with them.
I mean, you're fueling the work that's being done, the real work that's being done around the world.
That's a great way to put it. We are fueling that work, and of course that requires money. That's just understood. But that's not the only thing. It also means people need assistance. They need encouragement. They need support. They need community. They need to be connected with other conservationists. All of those things are what really propel that work forward. I think it's a great insight you make.
So how would you say you all prioritize which species or conservationists to support? How does that work, and how is that coordinated?
The way we prioritize is a really interesting topic. I could say one thing is that we do focus on species that are here at the zoo as an example. So we've been supporting chimpanzee conservation for many years before we opened this chimpanzee exhibit. So that does point us in that direction, but that's not the only criteria we use. We support lots of projects where animals are not represented here at the zoo, and in that case, it's really clear. We're looking for quality projects that have the greatest chance of success. The amount of money or the amount of resources that's needed for conservation is huge. No one organization could meet that need. We certainly cannot. But what we do is try and focus on partnerships with people we know are successful, people who have really well thought out projects, and where they're focused on results. So we really don't focus on trying, we focus on results.
Sure.
And that's our measure. Having said that, conservation is always risky. It's always hard to guarantee anything.
Sure.
when it comes to saving species in the wild, but we're really proud of the people that we partner with because they're doing great work. A great example, Dr. Charles Foley, we've been supporting his work in Tanzania since 2007, continuously doing phenomenal work for African elephants, for example, plus many other species in Tanzania. And year after year, they just keep having big successes. So we love working with them, and we feel privileged to support them.
It's kind of cool to see the fruits of some of the dollars being at work.
It's so rewarding.
Cool.
It just makes you feel good when you know the work that we're doing right here in Indianapolis. And by the way, someone coming to the zoo and buying a ticket is part of that. You're supporting our mission when you do that. And when we can put those resources in the hands of people that can make a difference on the other side of the world, it's a privilege.
Yeah.
It's a real privilege.
That's why I know a lot of folks around Indiana love getting their ticket to the zoo, because there's more to it than just going to see animals. How would you say that that kind of model that you guys have, where there's some money coming in, but you are actively sending it right back out to help conservation? Do you feel like that builds trust in the community?
I think it really does, and I guess I would just add, we're a bit of an unusual zoo. We're accredited by AZA, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. We're very proud of that. Yeah. It's the highest standard that any zoo can reach anywhere in the world, zoo or aquarium. But part of that is committing to conservation. That's part of our mission. It's also part of what our colleagues do in the accredited zoo community. So I think that's one of the things that best defines modern zoos, as well as extraordinary animal care and education and all those good things. But field conservation is essential. I really think it gives us tremendous credibility. People know that we're serious about saving species and caring about the natural world. I certainly feel great about the efforts that we have underway, and I think our visitors do too. But we're always working hard to get that message out because, as you said so well, it can be kind of hidden. People don't necessarily understand all of the work that's happening behind the scenes at the zoo. So we want to get that out and make sure people understand that they are part of that as well when they come and visit us here at the Indianapolis Zoo.
I mean, you guys are really the triple threat, because you have the accreditation for the zoo, the aquarium, and the botanical garden as well.
It's true.
How cool.
We are unusual. There are not a lot of organizations that have that, so that's a minority of the accredited zoos, but we love that, and we love representing the diversity of life on Earth. So animals, yes, but certainly plants, and sometimes people forget about fish and the animals that are freshwater and marine based. So we love being able to do that. So it's all about the interaction between plants and animals and fungi all around the world.
I want to touch back on the success with conservationists. For example, this is going to tie into the Indianapolis Prize.
Right.
For someone who's maybe just moved to Indiana, they're getting used to Indianapolis, they hear Indianapolis Prize, what is that? What would it be? How would you explain it to them?
This year, and it's a great topic, this year is the 20th anniversary of the Indianapolis Prize. It is very specific about promoting the work of individual conservationists. So we give out 3 awards associated with the Indianapolis Prize. Indianapolis Prize is the first, and that is an award that goes to a single individual who's made a significant difference saving an animal species or a group of species in the wild. That award highlights their work, gets their name out all over the world. We'll have billions of media impressions associated with that, and it's a great way to help them advance their work. Just last Indianapolis Prize cycle, and it's every 2 years, we started the Emerging Conservationist Award. That's to catch someone earlier in their career, sometimes much earlier in their career, and promote their work to help keep them in the field and advance what they're doing. And then the third thing that we do is the Jane Alexander Global Wildlife Ambassador Award. Those are people who are usually not scientists, not academics, but public figures who use their platform to really advance conservation. some familiar names people probably heard of: Harrison Ford,
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver, recently Joel Sartori, National Geographic photographer. So these are people who really can help influence public opinion about the need and value of conservation.
It makes you feel like anyone can get into conservation then, especially with that award.
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
Everybody has a role to play in conservation, and we hear that a lot. People say, "Oh, I don't know what to do. It sounds so complicated. I hear so many different things," and that's a fair point. And that tells us we need to do a better job. We meaning our profession. We need to do a better job of helping people understand what they can do. So here's what I like to say: if you feel a little overwhelmed or confused or maybe pessimistic, don't be. Choose one thing that you think will be helpful. Do your research, and I'll give you like the simplest, easiest example ever. Never in your life should an aluminum can go in the garbage. Recycle your aluminum always. It's infinitely recyclable, and aluminum is made by being mined in habitat that supports some of the most diverse groups of animals on the planet. Okay. So if you can prevent the need to extract those raw materials by recycling your aluminum, you're doing something great for conservation. It's so easy, it's so impactful, and just do one thing and it will become a habit. Then you can find the next thing, and over time you realize you're doing a lot of great things to help protect the planet and promote species survival around the world.
Sounds like a lot of small things add up very
That's
quickly.
exactly what it is, and everybody makes an impact. By the way, if I recycle all my aluminum, I'm the only one doing it, it really doesn't mean much. But it's when hundreds of thousands or millions of people do that across the planet, that's when it really adds up and makes a really important impact on species conservation.
So, with the conservation, with the prize, give us a brief timeline. What can we expect as we go into the fall?
Oh, it's a big fall for us. So this is 2025.
Yes.
Our prize cycle is every 2 years. It takes us 2 years to go through the nomination process, the voting, and then all of the work associated with putting our gala together. So September 27th this year is our Indianapolis Prize Gala. That is the culmination of everything that happens in this cycle, a huge event in downtown Indianapolis where we celebrate the winner of the Indianapolis Prize, the winner of the Emerging Conservationist Award, and the winner of the Jane Alexander Award. It is a huge event. It is so uplifting. It is so powerful. We have people that come to the event that say this over and over. They say, well, I didn't come here thinking I was a conservationist, but I certainly leave feeling like I am. So it is really transformational. It's the best night of every 2 years.
Well, we've loved partnering with you for so many different prizes. It's
And
wonderful.
we love you being there, that's for
awesome.
sure. That's for
Well,
sure.
Thank you so much for the time today. We've
Our
had
pleasure,
a blast.
Matt. Thank you, Matt.